Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another episode of the Gameable Audio. This time we're doing a filler radio number 1. This is actually the first one where I'm going to do a little bit less of a show where I do a lot of research and so on. We're instead going to focus on the music, and I've been live streaming this as well. This is the second time I'm doing it, and of course we're gonna do more of these in the future. So if you wanna join in, hang out, and be one of the people who joins in and selects a little bit of the music that we're going to play and listen to during today's episode, feel free to join and follow me on my Twitch account, ChrisXSweet. Super easy to find, hopefully. But yeah, we're not going to focus on talking. My name is Christofer Schenström. I am your host today, as always. And let's start out with the first track of the week. The first one we're going to listen to is from the game Last Ninja, and it is the main theme. First track of the week, this was The Last Ninja, and this was also the main theme of the game. Most likely, I don't know exactly since I haven't done any research for this. We're mostly going to talk a little bit more about the music and the games themselves a little bit in between each of the different tracks that we picked for today. So considering in what we have over at Twitch right now and the talk that's going on, well, Empress here says that he was is it he or she? It's Empress, so I'm guessing she here. But let's see. Growing up with the Turtles, I was born in 1980, so I remember clearly when they arrived. Oh, that's awesome. Having this, for me, it's he. Okay, then we stick with he. No, but I really love with the Turtles and everything that we're currently talking about in the chat as well. We're talking about ninjas. This is one of the main things why Empress was so into Last Ninja. For me, I've only basically seen this game a little bit. I know of this game back in the day, but I never owned any sort of Atari or Commodore back in the day. And I know this was a popular game for the Commodore 64. But for me, I've only seen this when I was older. And considering watching these games, that are very limited to very many extents, comes down to so many different things in the end. But I've heard so much good about this game, but watching gameplays and so on, I don't think I will ever play this, but I will enjoy the music for this. And today we really enjoyed the main theme of Last Ninja. So it's super fun, and considering also that the ninja word, I guess this game was a little bit like around Ninja Turtles when it became popular, especially here in Sweden. But I think they still utilized Last Ninja for it, considering that we did change for the Ninja Turtles. So instead of Ninja Turtles, we had Hero Turtles here in Sweden, or in most of Europe, from what I understand. And I was so confused about this, because I always thought it was Ninja Turtles. But looking back at older ads and so on when I was younger, they definitely had the Hero Turtles, and I was so baffled by that. And for people that want more information about the Last Ninja theme as well, we had an episode not long ago with Instant Remedy. Instant Remedy has also made an amazing remix of this track as well. Highly recommend it for you guys to check it out. But I think it's time for me to stop babbling, and we're heading over to the next track of the week. And the next one we have lined up is One Day featuring Vila, which I'm a little bit unsure on One Day, but I've been following Vila for a long time on YouTube. Highly recommended, super good singer. We're going to listen to the track called Shade, and this is from a Skyrim Thieves Guild kind of remix. I'm a little bit unsure specifically if this track is specifically for a Skyrim Thief Guild or more like a thematicism for Skyrim. But still, and nonetheless, this is an amazing track. Now, enjoy.
Objects and unideal, concealing faces from the light till the secrecy burying the guild makes its way into your life. They seem so tough, but they're on the edge. Run out of luck, so they wait instead. There's something deeper that remains unsaid until our leader reveals. Shh. So now you need me. So now you need my help, oh Carla, who did this to ya? This won't be easy. He knows we're here and he wants to kill us. These traps were set up for us. To be deceived by someone we trusted and we believed. He lied to our faces and to our team. It's chilling to think he was one of the three. It's quite a price to pay, lass, and have you got it in him? Or else she won't let us pass, and now we're trusting in her. So many crows feel watched, and we're all targets in fear. Is she a statue, a last, or a goddess as we fear? You can't avoid her. Sworn to her grace, don't wanna be here at all. In this forsaken place, we only got if we fall. We only land on our faces. Blood ain't not all, so let us stand in the shade. Nocturnal took to the cycle's done. We put our stealth and our armor on. We see him there through the gate and down. He knows we're here, he's playing with us. Now you need me, yeah, now you need my help. Oh, you follow, but not
And now as we return back from the track Day 1 featuring Vila on vocals here, this was Shade, Skyrim Thieves Guild mix of some sort and some kind. Here over in the chat on Twitch, as we were recording this episode, we're actually talking about game collections right now, and also in the upcoming event Retromania, which will be going on here in Sweden and close by to where I live. Not super close, but close enough, at least. No, but we've been talking a little bit about different collections and so on. It's been super nice hanging out in the chat here. Going through whatever we may come across here. We've been talking a little bit about Sega Saturn games and collections here, but also talking a little bit of my own collection with Super Nintendo games. And yeah, the last thing we were talking about was Terranigma before we started out and going into the next track here. But yeah, for me, Skyrim, I've been playing Skyrim a little bit. Not a super fan of the game. As people might already know, I have a problem playing open world games. First of all, they take too much time to play and doesn't really do me much when I can play like a more linear experience and get the same kind of satisfaction. So when it comes to that part, I'm basically getting a little bit sad for that part. But Skyrim is, to be honest, a really interesting game. The low amount of time that I actually put into the game actually taught me a lot about why the game is so good as it is. So the example I have is one in the beginning, as you play through the tutorial steps and you get to the first castle part where your main big quest kind of starts out for the adventure. I basically saw a character running around, cat-like character. I started following that character, walked out into the wilderness. There I met like a vampire with his two like ghouls. I stabbed them to death, felt victory, and was like, yeah, I'm overpowered, I'm good at this. And then I just continued over to more mountains and so on. And from the mountain part, I saw these like giants, and at the same time when I saw those giants, like, yeah, I'm gonna kill them because I'm freaking immortal. And I was like going around stabbing them, but they were like damage sponges when you're just starting out this adventure. But I got one giant down because they're slow and you're like a quick ant, to be honest. So I had a good time. But yeah, then I pulled the second giant and I made a mistake, and this giant hit me and I died so freaking hard that my character just flew up into the sky 200 meters, and yeah, then I respawned. And I was like, yeah, but I can take them on. I mean, I've been playing this type of games previous. And at the same time, when I was heading out again, I didn't see anything of what I saw before. So all of a sudden, there were no giants, there were no this or that. It was super crazy, in my opinion. And yeah, super fun, but at the same time, I do fully understand why people love this game. And as Empress is pointing out here, Skyrim playtime, 500 hours on Xbox 360, 400 hours on PS3, 300 hours on PS4. I have a problem. Yes, you do, sir. You have a problem. You need another hobby, which could be playing another game. I can recommend Ori. Ori is a great game. You should put more hours into if you haven't played, or else we can just go for other recommendations. But no, this kind of proves a point in why people kind of like this game so much. Now this is just one example, putting all those hours, but at the same time, you are not alone, my friend. I've seen so many people buying the next game releasing on a new console and just keep playing. It's the same content every time, but people are still enjoying it over and over again, and I have a really hard time because there's so many good games out there. But of course, I play some of these eternal games as well, playing Fortnite and so on. But it's definitely fun. Anyway, it's time to go for the next track. The next track that we're going to follow through on this one is Cityfire Hollows from the Echo Cave from 30XX. City Fires Hollows, the Echo Cave. This was from 30XX. And this is currently one of my favorite games. I really love Endor 20XX. This is the sequel to it. It also came with a level editor, which I've been utilizing a little bit myself. I haven't released any content for it though, because I'm still working on that said level. And I've actually done that said level over on my Twitch as well. I've been doing it live. I don't think I've done too much of the level itself while not being online. And also the community with these level editors and so on are super helpful as well. So it's really fun to get into that. And City Fires, as everybody knows, is like a really good chiptune artist that I love and adore. I definitely love all the different styles that it did in both 20XX and 30XX, because it really gives a hard Mega Man X vibe, and I love that soundtrack. So just considering with the same type of chiptune style, but makes it more modern, works really well, and the games are absolutely amazing. So I can't. It's hard for me not to recommend it enough by me talking about it so much that I tend to do. I highly recommend it. It's roguelike, so every round feels new, and I love how they kind of progress the robot masters, if we were gonna talk in Mega Man language. So instead of having the same kind of pattern all the time, depending on when you meet these robot masters, so if you're meeting them the first time, they're gonna be kind of bare minimum, they're gonna be very basic and so on, but over time they will add new patterns to the bosses. So depending on where you're meeting these bosses, they might be easier or harder, but it also depends on what kind of power-ups you've been gathering and collecting throughout the game. But I love and adore this game. It packs with so much content, and it is super fun to play. And watching people like going through these levels and so on is super fun as well. So you can actually put in these level seeds so you can compare your time towards a friend's time playing the exact same pattern of style of your levels or your playthrough. Yeah. So, City Fires Hollows. Highly recommend playing this game, 30XX. So another thing that we actually talked about during the music that we had, we talked a little bit more about the upcoming parts. So one of the games that I'm going to play on the stream and also talk a little bit more about the music and specifically about the game is the popular game Mass Effect. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. No, but they released the Legendary Collection, and now I can play through 1, 2, 3 of Mass Effect. And of course, we're gonna play through these. I actually wanted to do a specific episode, just like we did with the Diablo episodes. So I wanted to do another one on Mass Effect, because I know a lot of people love and adore this series. And also, another thing we talked a little bit about was collections again. And I went through many of my, consoles that I utilize in order to try and cover as many consoles and generations and games as possible, because I'm trying to be as smart as possible surrounding this. It helps a lot in my opinion, keeps the cost down as well. So I'm not the best one at playing original content unless it's Super Nintendo for me, but utilizing this and playing with a better width of the games I think helps a lot. And also, for some of these consoles, it actually helps with just being more pleasant and feeling more comfortable playing these games. Helps a lot as well. So it will be fun to see and hear a little bit, not see, it's more hearing about what your collections are that are listening to this episode. Like, what consoles are you, if you're collecting on anything? Please do write that in the comments. And for people listening in on this live stream as well, I mean, feel free to talk a little bit more about the collections you have. It would be fun to hear and see what you guys have. But next song out, we're going a little bit more rock and roll this time. We're going with Full Diesel, the Finnish band, and we're going to listen to the track No Man's Land. Apparently now in the chat we're making these nuts jokes. Hocus pocus! we're getting some some personal jokes in this as well. It's gonna be amazing. No, but this was Full Diesel from No Man's Land, with the track No Man's Land, and this game. I feel like I'm losing it right now, people. The hocus pocus really got to me. And abracadabra. Now we're getting Pokemons here as well, right? No, but in all honesty, Full Diesel, No Man's Land. This is from the game Flat Out. And for me, I'm a little bit sad that actually the band Full Diesel was like a small local Finnish band. And they haven't really done many other tracks. And it seems like, well, they split up soon after Flat Out was released. And this specific track was for Flat Out 2. One of my favorite games when it comes to racing games. It is so much fun. The chaos and everything, and every time this freaking track rolled on, I was so excited when I was playing, because it felt like I was wrecking the world, creating chaos and havoc. And it's so much fun. When I grew up, I didn't really own much of a PlayStation console at all. There was one point in my life when a bit later when I won a PlayStation 1, but this was the PlayStation 2 has already released, and this was PlayStation 1, the slim version, so it was a little bit smaller. So I didn't really own many PlayStation 1 games at all. So with that said, Flat Out 2 was actually released as well for the PlayStation 2. But I played this on PC, and it was so much fun having a character that can fly out of the window and everything. And considering when I was hitting like events and so on, when I was able to play PlayStation 2, you also had the Burnout series, which also kind of created the same kind of havoc. So when Burnout was having these good-looking cars, Flat Out had these, I was folk race. I don't know how folk race is translated over to any other country, because I don't know if it's actually a sport over there, like NASCAR and stuff like that. I mean, we don't have NASCAR in Sweden, but in Sweden we have folk race where people drive around in shitty cars and race each other. And the same goes for Flat Out. Flat Out, you have like really rusty cars. Yeah, Derby, Destruction Derby. A lot of people might know that sense. No, but in all honesty, when it comes to this, I just love the havoc of this. You're playing this racing game, and by creating as much chaos as possible, destroying things, you get nitro. So that was also like a difference in between the two games of Burnout and Flat Out. Flat Out had the destruction part to gain boost, while Burnout had to be close and take risks to create these buffs and boosts for you. No, but in Flat Out as well, because you're creating this chaos. Sometimes you need to hit more high risk, high reward kind of obstacles. You need to drive through like a fence or something like that. All of a sudden you hit a tree, and well, there goes your wheel. So all of a sudden you can't really get to those top speeds, and your car is just getting more shitty and shitty over the course of time. So it was so much fun playing on LAN parties and so on, playing up to 8 people. So I have great memories for this. And when you don't want to race anymore, you have these stunt event where you can play baseball with your characters and so on. And it was super silly and fun and so unique in my opinion. So highly recommended to play the Flat Out series. Wreckfest, not so much. I did purchase it. I haven't played it that much because I think they destroyed the controllers a little bit, because you don't have this funky arcade style anymore of the game that I loved and adored. But I still own the game, so one day I might return. Maybe they fixed everything. I have no freaking clue. But now we're going back a little bit in time. We're going to listen to a group, a chiptune group called 047, and this is going to be their track General Error. 047 General Error. This was a little bit of a nice, simple chiptune-esque music. It's not true chiptune, if I remember correctly. This is more like a demo scene kind of style. They don't go for a specific limitation. Because this can also verify what is chiptune, fake bit, and etc. There's so many different genres, and I think we should have like an episode to talk a little bit more about the understanding of these genres as well. But of course, it's gonna be like a super long, so maybe it would be easier to just go into different like side genres within video game music and the demo scene and so on. What kind of passed through everything. I did a demo scene episode a while back. I don't remember if it was in Swedish or if I did it on English, but I know there were people reaching out to me saying like, hey, that was super interesting. I didn't know much about the demo scene and so on. For me, I don't know much about the demo scene either, but I have gone on LAN parties and so on, and that's kind of where I got in touch with the demo scene, understanding that there's people going to these LAN parties, and all they do throughout the full event is just coding and making music and so on in order to create like the best demo from that LAN party. And it's so much fun. It's challenging, and this is also one of the biggest technological like things we have, not just in Sweden but in the world. And Swedish engineers and coders and so on has been so engaged in this demo scene. A lot of the people that we give a lot of credit to today for a lot of the different things we have within games and so on are people that were visiting these demo scene parties, creating this amazing. We have people that created battlefields and so on with a lot of different tech were at these parties. So definitely, if you are interested in things like this, definitely check out the demo scene. Find a group. I mean, there are still active demo scene groups surrounding this. So, and most of these are just really engaged people overall. But for me, we're focusing a little bit more on the music here, and I just love what they did with General Error. It's so the flow is nice. It feels very dancey to some extent, but at the same time, I don't want to stand up and dance, but I kind of just want to sway back and forth with my shoulders. And people joining in on the stream here as well when we're recording this, of course, you can see me vibing to the music as well. But yeah, we're not just only listening to this. We're talking a lot about different things. We're continuing with these nuts jokes. That's always fun. But at the same time, we're also going through some videos that I found during the weekends, considering on the topic of parodies. And well, considering 047, they also did more funny like songs, like not parodies per se, but they made fun, interesting music that are more towards like just laughing and having a good time. And yeah, I found the other version from Stacy's mom, from Stacy's point of view in that song, and we were looking at that one together a little bit and hopefully having a laugh. So, but yeah, this is not a related track to any game or something like that. This is just a free original track that is more inspired by video games and so on. And well, I actually loved this song when I was growing up. Found this group, I think, around like the gymnasium year, so about 16, 17 years old. And yeah, I loved and adored this type of music. A lot of people know this already from the fact that I do love the modular scene and also a lot of those crack intro music that you could find when you downloaded games and so on. But I usually tended to just download these crack tros just to listen to the amazing music that people created for these, because they were absolutely stunning. But on the topic of stunning music, we're going to listen to another track that is called The Unsung War. This is a remix for the game, if I remember correctly, the Ace Combat 5. And yeah, the track is an epic remix of The Unsung War. There we have the epic remix from the game Ace Combat 5. This track name was The Unsung War. And the track here was done and remixed by Lucas Riccioli, I guess. Sounds very Italian. Considering that I'm not super good with names and how they pronounce and so on, it's so much easier when you actually have the composer either by your side or on some sort of link. Then I can actually talk to them prior to this. But this was an amazing track. This was actually requested or recommended by Empress, who hangs out in the chat now that we're recording this show. So, no, it was a really good one. I know myself a little bit, and I've been listening a little bit more to Ace Combat music. I listened to multiple podcasts talking about the music from these games. And on top of that, I actually bought a couple of Ace Combat games myself that we talked a little bit more about. And the current topic that we're currently having in the show here is talking about normies and how people don't have friends or have friends, because I was doing some information sharing here, considering the upcoming event of Masters of VGM that I am currently hosting this year over in my Discord. This is a worldwide event, considering that everybody who has a podcast that wants to cover video game music on the year's subject are more than welcome to join in, and we will make a huge, amazing event. And the topic of this year is to talk about female, trans, and genderqueer composers. So for me, I don't know too much about this subject. That's why this is so interesting to dive into. So it's going to be an amazing time in July when this event is going on throughout the whole month. And for everybody who might know another podcast that would like to cover video game music, it could be a normal podcast where they usually just talk about video games or TV series or anything, toys. And they want to talk about video game music, then hook them up with information for mastersofvgm.com. More information will be there, or you can join the Discord, as usual. No, but for me, I have not played Ace Combat at all. I do own, I think, 2 or 3 games for the PS2. I don't remember exactly. But, yeah. And apparently now we're talking about with normies as well. I mean, we need to go back to that subject as well. I mean, we're talking so much about it. They apparently don't smell sweet. They smell nice. And, they smell sweat. Yes. They don't smell of sweat. They smell nice, says Tom. And, yeah. Anyone who does not appreciate video games and or retro stuff to an insane degree is also a normie, I guess. But I don't know, for people listening in on this episode, maybe you should write a comment about normies. What is a normie? Do normies exist? I don't know. Is this just something we made up or in our mind? I have no clue. That's why I'm asking the questions here. But the biggest question that I can answer instead is the next track that we're going to listen to this date and to this day. And this is yet another one from Empress that recommended, and it is a blast. I know of this artist, also a cover artist that makes rock and roll versions of music, and this is Gameable with the title theme and stage 1 and 5 from the game Journey to Silius. There we had the last track of the week. It was Gameable, the title theme / stage 1 and 5 from Journey to Silius. And this is one of those games that I know a lot of people love and adore. I don't know really why though. It's not like it's the best game or anything. It looks good, the music is freaking amazing, but it's hard as F. Holy crap. I tried to play this. I don't think I come further than the third level. I think most likely I got like a lot far second stage or something like that. But yeah, considering that what we talked a little bit about in the chat while this track was playing, we were talking a little bit about Cheetah Men and so on, because it's not hard, but it's not buggy to hard in Silius, but like Cheetah Men you can't even complete, but this one, I don't know. I guess it's possible, but it's gonna cost you time, definitely. But amazing, the music is amazing. This is kind of what drew me into this game firsthand. Like, I knew about the music. A lot of people have done remixes on it and so on. So I just wanted to dive into it, try it myself, and it's like the Dark Souls of NES games almost. Whew, it was so hard, but I really liked it. I just kept like pushing and pushing and pushing, but I mean, when you run out of lives, there's no full continue forever. At one point you're running out of these credits and you need to start the game over from scratch. So it's a really try and error game, but adds like small proportions where it's really, really hard at the same time. But it's fun. It's really fun. So I wouldn't say that there's no Konami code. No Konami code. And it was Empress that said that in the chat here. But yeah, this was also a recommendation from Empress as well. So thank you so much for joining in on this episode, giving all these amazing shares of music that we listened to for this episode. And yeah, this was, as I said, the last track of the week. I want to thank everybody for joining in over at Twitch for this recording. I will definitely do this for the second episode as well with the filler radio. So the next episode coming up, we will do the same thing again. So if you feel like you want to be a part of the conversation going on online while we're recording this episode, feel free to follow me on Twitch or join the Discord. For Twitch, just search for Chris X Swe, with Chris being CH and Swe as in Sweden, and you'll find me there. Just give it a follow and join in on the next episode and hang out in the chat. If not, just hang out and feel free to ask any questions on the Discord. You'll find the Discord in the main I'm losing the words right now. I definitely needed to go out. And now we're getting more followers as well. Change Minimizing 4. Thank you so much for joining in on the Discord as we're recording the end of the episode. Well, anyway, it's time to close this down. But please beware when we're closing the episode. I have a little bit of a bonus right at the end. So do stay for the very exit of this, or the very end of this episode, for the little bonus thing. So, other episodes of the Gameable audio, you can find those on our homepage at videospelsklubben.se, Spotify, or in your closest podcast app. Feel free to follow and comment on one of our social medias, or both would be more preferable in my case. Either way, you can reach out on Facebook or on Instagram. Just search for Gameable audio and you'll find me or us there. It's not much of an us, it's been me all along, but sometimes I have guests as well. I mean, let's calculate them to the family, right? You can also support this podcast for future content upgrades and quality upgrades. I actually got a mixer. Not thanks to all the backing, because the backing is currently paying for music and marketing sometimes. But anyway, I'm just super happy that I got a mixer now. So I will be available to move around a little bit more, and I'm looking forward to utilizing it. Hopefully everybody else will be super happy with the new quality that will come in the future for episodes. No, but in the end, when I don't need any more money for anything I'm doing, or if money is basically spilling over for everything I'm currently paying for, everything else will go back to the composers themselves, and we'll focus on giving the money to future composers that are new and upcoming. So think about becoming a Patreon backer there. Our current awesome backers that we have today is Daniel Onemark, Lars Schenström, Titti Schenström, Kevin Wikström, and Mike Björkholm. Thank you so much for being part and helping me out with this project. Links where you can either buy and support the composers behind the music that we'll listen to today, you'll find those in our main post at videospelsklubben.se. The next episode is of course going to be a filler radio number 2, as I kind of need the space and time, so I'm not doing any research as you notice in this episode. Hopefully you enjoy the music way more, and we will continue this for the next episode with a live recording as well. I'm looking at the text and looking at the chat and everything, but there's the camera. And this is bad podcasting now. No, but the next episode, Filler Radio number 2, and the podcast theme music was, as usual, composed by the amazing Thor Myrdal. With that said, thank you everybody for joining in over at Twitch. And thank you everybody for listening in on this episode that had, well, a little bit of a shenanigan and not really any form of structure. Thank you so much, everybody, and see you all guys next time.
If I could be somebody else, I would be Terry Kavanagh, making the games like Don't Look and Be, and everyone play them in awe. The awesomeness of graphics isn't really it. No, the gameplay and story is what makes it fit. And everyone is playing in the evil, evil rooms, but no one ever sad face or glooms. Or do they? Yeah, Terry is a monster, I think we all know that. The levels that he did makes you wanna call him twat. And making things the hard way, I really don't like that. The joke's on me, it's silly, I'm feeling like a brat. Anyway, the thing is fun, I think you all agree that if you're waiting for something good, you are waiting for me.